Hey, it's me, Tyler, the Michiana Madman. Let's go ahead and clean up this bike today. All right, so we've got some tools for my birthday down here. I was gifted this chain cleaner by Park Tool and this awesome brush kit. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well these clean up. Use a little bit of this degreaser, and we're gonna get this thing clean. All right, we've got our soapy water right here. Sponge, toss that in there. Toss the brush in here. This kind of brush, we're gonna toss that in there too. I think it's called like the bottle brush. Put that in there, all nice and soapy. Now this one I'm gonna use and get a separate cup of degreaser with, and we're gonna go ahead and clean the chain first with this tool before we go ahead and worry about cleaning the bike. I don't want to get degreaser and stuff all over it afterwards, so it's pretty easy assembly. Let's go ahead and take this, slide it in. But first, we're gonna go ahead and get a cup and get some degreaser and clean the inside of the chain. We're gonna take some of this degreaser, put it in here with the brush. And get it so it's a little saturated. Take the shop rag. I'm gonna try to put it in between my disc brake here because I don't want to get any contaminants from the degreaser up on my brake or on the disc. I don't know if that was exactly the best way to prevent it, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm thinking about getting a dummy wheel or a dummy hub so I can just take the whole wheel off when I clean it. I think that'll be a lot easier. All right, there's a lot of dirt up in here and everything right now, so what I'm gonna do is clean inside of the cassette and just really get some degreaser up on there. Really cleaning that thing down, breaking all that gunk down on the chain. That teeth here. Now I'm trying not to get it down exactly all the way in here or on the back side. I'm just really trying to stay on the teeth. Then I flip around and use the comb side here and really get those in-betweens. Come down here and get this. This tool really helps get all that dirt that's been building up in between out of there. Before I was trying to use picks, whatever I could use to get down in between there. I just didn't feel like I was getting a sufficient cleaning. Every time it felt rough. I can already see the dirt just melting away. It's great. Alright, yeah, with this being plastic, you don't have to worry about the scratch in the metal. So you can really get in there and be a little bit aggressive with some of that dirt too. I'm not worried about scratching anything up. I know I'm getting in between down there. It's really cleaning. I'm pretty impressed so far. Now let's go ahead and just hit these teeth here. Really work that. Backpedal a little bit here so I can get that. I'm just really trying to get the dirt loosened up off that. That way when I wash it with the water and we run the new chain through it, chain cleaner, it's just gonna really clean it up. Look at that grossness. You know what? Look at this already happening. Dripping on this. The wife's gonna kill me. Problem solved. Alright, don't be afraid to get in there and get the jockey wheels clean. Get those moving around. You know, a crucial mistake I'm making here is that I'm not wearing any gloves. Alright, so yeah, now that I got these gloves on, it feels a lot easier to go ahead and get these wheels cleaned up. I don't feel so bad about it getting all over my fingers. Essentially, I am just trying to clean the spots where gunk can get built up and it's tough to reach normally. Here I'm being a little bit mindful that I'm close to my disc brake, so I don't want to just be sloppily spraying everything anyway. So I definitely do not want degreaser on my disc brake. I think I got both of those pretty clean. Now what I'm ready to do is to jump over and start working on the chain. Take the top off here, and we're firmly going to place the back chain in there. These brushes right here, we're going to make sure we put the chain in there and it goes through into the sponge. Up on the lid. secure it. And now what we do is in here we pour in degreaser until it's on the fill line. Oops. And now what we do, step back a little bit, is we're gonna go ahead and back crank on the bike. And we wanna make sure it goes through quite a few times. And the brushes are rotating in here. The brushes are rotating, cleaning the grease off of the bike. Now, you don't wanna twist it and make the chain all crooked. So you wanna really make sure you're holding the tool straight when doing this. Now, this is my first time ever using one of these. It's awesome. I used to have my toothbrush set up, and it didn't clean them very well. So I'm just looking at this chain right now, and it's already looking great, but still has some grease on it. So we just want to keep pedaling it back. Really, it should just be about a minute. Got to be getting close to that. I can see the degreaser just went black. All right. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Pop off the locks, pull off the top, and look at that blackness. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that into this other one, and we'll let that settle. And I'll clean this out in a minute. So now we're ready to wash the bike. Let's grab the soapy bucket. Here we go. So we have these different brushes down here, and what we're going to be using is a whole variety of them. Now I got the sponge, and that's one great way to get the bike just wet overall. But I think primarily I'll probably be using this brush first to give it a good clean, and this bottle cone one to get into those tough to reach places. So let's see what we can go ahead and do. Now, I kind of want to start from the highest spot down to the lowest. That way the dirt's running down lower. Got my seat full extended. Start with the saddles, give it a good little washings. Starting there, and that's when I'll use that bottle cone, I think. Get up there, really reach underneath those tough to reach spots where the dirt flies up when you're riding through. I know when I'm done riding, my butt's always dirty. Let's go over the bike, give it a good washing. You want to make sure you get nice and clean. Wash all the parts. Now you don't want to sit there and focus on spots that have the rings. I don't think necessarily, but you know what? At the same time, I don't think it's certain. Oh, let's remove this before we get started here. I'm gonna go ahead and go over that chain, run it through a couple times. Maybe I'm gonna hit that with a sponge. I know I'm getting all that greaser off before we go hitting some other stuff. Dip it in there. Get it all nice and wash it up. Might as well hit those wheels up while we're up here, right? Give it a good washing around. Get the sponge wet. That gives me a good spot to just get my brush wet again. Whew, this thing was not that dirty, but it's already looking better. Now, right here, some of these spots, the derailleur, the cassette, they're gonna be hard to hit. So I want to get in there with the bottle cone brush. Put it in there, move that hub around. Now we're not worried about getting water and soap on the disc brakes because it's going to clean itself off. It's going to wash off any contaminants too, hopefully. You know, I'm just using regular dish soap down there, so it helps break through some of that grease and stuff already. Same with the disc brakes. They're going to dry themselves out. I'm not have to worry about anything getting on them. They'll go ahead and be all right, they won't be contaminated. All right, my little daughter wants to help. Why don't you grab that cone brush? They can't resist. They have to come help. Good helpers they are. Washing the cockpit up here, I want to try to go ahead and stay away from hitting into the mechanical levers. And wash the grips and whatnot, but the levers, I'll go ahead and just give them a wipe down. Oops. As I go ahead and hit one myself right there, didn't even notice. Everything else though, give it good washings. Cables, get them clean. Get up here on the floor, underneath. Alright, like I said, you need to get it. Put that soap back on there. Let's get these tires clean. Now after buying this bike and spending some money, it's always nice to keep it nice and clean. You know, on these hot summer days, sometimes getting out here and just playing in the water, cleaning something like your car or your bike, this is fun. Trying not to make it rain soaps on her head. So this one, really in between there, get back in that stuff. Maintaining your bike always just makes it last a little bit longer. That's what we want. You know, this is an investment. It's a fun hobby to have. But, you know, I'm just one of those guys that likes to also tinker with stuff and get down in there and mess around. So washing my bike to me is like how other people wash their cars. Alright, at this point in time, I think we're ready to go ahead and give the bike a rinse. Go ahead and give this bike a rinse here. We're going to use the little shower. We don't want to blast too much water in while we're doing it. Alright, we just rinsed the bike off. I'm going to go ahead and let it drip dry out here in the sun for a little bit. Then we're going to come out and add some more lubrication to it. Got this towel, I think I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down a little bit. Alright, got to give it a shake. This nozzle is already a little jacked up, you can see that, so it already sucks. Now what I just go ahead and do is putting one right on each, a drop on each bearing. Link, whatever you want to call it. I should have cycled through and started on the master link. What was I thinking? But every time I put this stuff on, it does seem to clean the gunk and the dirt that I've missed off of before. And I can already see that, you know, I could have ran that cycle through on that chain clean a couple more times. I think one thing I forgot to do was I should have filled it up with soap, soapy water, and ran it through it and cleaned the chain up through the brushes. That was like a crucial mistake, I believe. So that is definitely what I'm going to do next time I clean it. You know, I got those tools from the Park Tool brushes and the chain cleaner for my birthday in the middle of July. And so yeah, I kind of just wanted to show them off and make a video. It's the first time I used them. And I'm not gonna lie, it's nice. I was cleaning the bike before just with rags and it took forever. Those brushes really wiped it out quickly. And you know, I have my daughters there helping and kind of spent a little more time on it than I would have just doing myself or wasn't trying to make a video. With this lubrication, you want to give it a little time to dry up. I'm just looking at this chain. Whew, I could have cleaned it a little better some of these spots. They're not looking the prettiest, but alright, there's the master link again. So we went through. Now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and let it dry for a little bit, a couple minutes, and then I'll wipe the excess off. Let it really go in there and penetrate him down into the bearings. Alright, now that it's been in there for a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and just wipe off the excess. Now, sometimes it seems counterintuitive to lube up a chain and then wipe it off. But really, what needs to be lubricated is down inside, so we already have that. It's not on the outside. That excess oil only allows it to track dirt and dust and makes the chain get dirty and need to be cleaned more often. But I appreciate you being out here helping me wash my bike today. And you know, if you like the content, please subscribe, check out my other videos, there's more to come. And you know, I'm just getting started, the season's still halfway through, and I'm just having tons of fun out here riding mountain bikes. Thanks everybody, take care.